Today is Sunday, January the 28th, and I'm in North Van at the home of MehernasJamshedi.
Yes, hi.
Hi. So, welcome to the ZXX project, Mehrnaz.
Thank you.
We're looking forward to learning about you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, please tell us about your childhood, where you were born.
I was born in Bombay, then Bombay, now Mumbai. Long while ago. I'm 44 years old. And I was born there. I lived there for 22 years of my life. And then I came to Canada to study.
Nice. Nice. So, can you tell us a little bit about your childhood?
Yeah, my childhood I had an amazing childhood. I had basically an amazing life, very thankful.
Nice.
I had a really mix of cultures in my own family because my dad was Iranian and my mom was Parsi. So it was always celebrating both cultures growing up.
Beautiful.
So it was really amazing. We had Nowruz celebrations and we had Pateti celebrations. And basically in India, you basically celebrate all cultures regardless. So it was a really nice place to grow up. I enjoyed growing up in Bombay, and I went to a Parsi school.
Oh, wow.
Which was called Alexandra Girls English Institution. So it was mainly Parsi, but we had all different religions and cultures there. But it was owned and managed, and the principal was Zoroastrian.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you grew up really with a very strong sense of your Parsi identity.
Yes, I would say a Parsi and Iranian, basically Zoroastrian. Yes.
Yeah. In India.
In Mumbai, India. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so, tell us a little bit about your dad's side and how that worked being in Mumbai.
Well, Dad's dad, my grandfather, who we call Bomas, which is an Iranian name for grandfather. They lived with us. So we lived in a joint family, mom and dad, and Bomas and Memas. And we learned a lot and he had come straight from Iran.
Oh, wow.
His dad.
Oh,
so,
which part of Iran?
Taft.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Taft, yes. So he had come directly to Bombay from Iran to further, just to increase his business sense and everything. And that's where he got married and had my dad. And then my parents got married and had me. So it was a lot of, the culture was very rich coming from Iran. And then my mom, her family was from Gujarat.
Oh,
so it was a very nice mix of the Iranian, which is still Zoroastrian, and the Parsi, which is still Zoroastrian, mixed together growing up. It really was.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got like the whole of the diaspora and the motherland in your bones.
I do, yes.
Yeah. And so there was never any disputes in the family, it sounds like.
Well, no, it wasn't really. There was always language barrier between my mom and the her in-laws.
Okay.
So they would understand. They would still speak Gujarati, which was our mother tongue growing up, but at the same time they would speak Dari, which was the Zoroastrian language. At home, my grandparents used to speak it. So I kind of picked it up growing up, the Dari, which has now helped me because now I'm married to a man from Iran who is Zoroastrian.
Oh my
So
gosh.
now those words and those, that culture is coming back again. So it's quite, it's quite nice to know that the world is round, and, you always never forget things. So.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
So your grandpa came from Iran and married an Indian woman?
Married a Zoroastrian who was from Iran too. Her dad was from Iran too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was...
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And so then your dad did the same thing.
My dad basically fell in love and got married to my mom, who was a Parsi.
Yeah.
So Zoroastrian, yes, but a different culture than the Iranian culture.
Zat Hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've had that in 2 generations now. an
Yes.
Irani and a Zartushti Hind.
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And so then you were born in Mumbai.
I was born in Bombay, yes, at Parsi Lying Hospital.
Oh, wow.
That's
amazing.
yeah. So.
And then you went elementary school and high school.
Well, they don't have high school in India. It's basically elementary right till grade 10 is usually the same school, which was Alexandra English English institution, which was a Parsi school. And then I went to HR college for 5 years, and I finished my commerce degree.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Do you have a story from your childhood that you'd like to share?
Well, there's not really. There's a lot of stories. I don't know which one to really share, but I really, and at the same time, you know, though I have the faith of being a Zoroastrian, which I'm very proud to be, but also I have a spiritual leader or a spiritual person that I believe with all my heart, who was also a Zoroastrian, and his name was Meher Baba.
Meher Baba.
Yeah,
okay.
so I'm very close to that part of my, you know, being who I am today is a lot to do with that as well.
And this you discovered in Mumbai?
Yes. I all grew up with, you know, the Zoroastrian, Lord Zarathustra's picture in my room. And I grew up with Meher Baba's picture in my room, always, throughout my whole life. And I took both of them with me and I brought it to Canada when I came. Yeah, and those are a really important part of my life. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah, so it's all of who you are.
It is all of who I am.
The Zartushti heritage, and you've also got a guru or another spiritual leader.
Leader that I believe in, yes.
Very nice. Do you want to talk a little bit about Meher Baba?
Well, it's, you know, it's basically the same as, you know, the Zoroastrian religion. It's more like the same three things. I think those three things that we are told constantly and we keep on hearing it again and again is good thoughts. You think the right thing, you'll say the right thing, and you'll do the right thing. It really has a lot of you know, impact. It's not just what you say and it actually even, you know, it's also the energy that you put into your thoughts. If you put the right energy into your thoughts, your actions, your words will be right and your actions will be right. So they're simple words, but it can be sensed very deeply. At the same time, it can be only words to begin with. So there's a lot of wealth in those three words that I think both the spiritual leaders that I believe in is the main thing. And that's the same thing what Baba has always also said, basically. Yeah.
Wow. So they reinforce each other.
They exactly reinforce each other. They are each other, if you ask me.
Very nice. And did you have a Navjot when you were a little girl?
Yes, I did have my Navjot when I was a little girl, and I made sure my son has his Navjot too over here in Vancouver too. And they say you should never have a Navjot with one priest. You should always have two when you have Navjot ceremony. So that's what I did for my son too. That yes, he has had one too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Here in Canada.
In Vancouver, Canada. Yes. Yeah.
So your husband is. You met him in Canada.
I met him in Canada. Fell head over heels in love with him.
Oh, congratulations!
And then we got married pretty quick actually, 4 or 5 months.
Wow!
Yeah.
Wow! So can we hear your love story?
Kind of. So I came to Canada on really a whim. I was invited by a wonderful man to study. I came here. I really loved the place. I really loved Vancouver too. But I finished my education. Then through a common friend, I met my husband, fell in love, didn't know what to do. And then my parents were obviously in India. And then I said, well, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I have to go back to, come back because I only had my student visa for so long. So I decided to go back, and my mom said, well, you're going back, but I did not give my passport away to my mom, held on to it. I had a lot money in the bank because I used to have a proper full-time job in India. So she knew if I decide to go back, I'll just go. And mom said, well, let's introduce this guy. And it was pretty much over the phone or just, and then when I came back, got married, and it was it's like when things have to work out, it just works out. I feel it just magically works out like a jigsaw puzzle. And that's what happened.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. So this was meant to be. You were meant to go to Canada.
22 years. Yeah. So now we've been married for 22 years. So.
Oh, that's beautiful. So you met the man of your dreams, settled down in a different country.
Different country, different culture too. And then, and then I am here, and I have a 15-year-old beautiful son. And I'm blessed. I really am blessed.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about your life in Canada?
Yeah, it was, it was a different culture to begin with. Of course, it's different, outside, like, when you go out, have a job, that kind of stuff. It was a little bit different from what I was used to. But things always work out, and I really, studied. So that's, I feel, very, very important to do in Canada or any Western country for that matter. You have to educate yourself no matter where you are. And that is the key thing that is important. And that's what I did. And now things were always rough in the beginning financially and everything, but everything settles down. And I'm very blessed to be where I am today. Yeah.
So you did a B-commerce in India.
I did yes, and then I used to work at a bank. I wanted to do my MBA. I started to do my MBA before I came here to Canada. But things fell off in the cracks. And then I came here, I did something totally different. I of course started working right away because I had a mortgage to pay, and lifestyle, gets in, you have to. And then I used to work with my husband in a movie theater for a long time. And then we owned a movie theater for a little while, and then that did not go that well either.
What was the movie theater called?
It was called, it was on Denman Street. Yeah, so it was near Coast Plaza Hotel, and it used to be just called Denman Cinemas. That's what it used to be called. But then the lease and high prices and drove us out. And then we couldn't survive that. But now I'm in a different field, completely different than what I started off with. I'm in dentistry now, so it's totally different. Different than what I was, what I started off with.
So tell us about that.
So I studied in becoming an assistant. I did that for a while. Said that's not really what I want to do. I love numbers and I like to talk to people. So then I'm more like an office manager, and I manage a dental office basically at this time.
Nice. Yeah. How do you like that?
Yeah, I really do. It's been about 12 years doing that. So, yeah.
So work-wise, things are nicely settled?
Oh, yeah. Work-wise, everything is settled and everything's good. Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit more about the way that you've blended the two cultures into your life?
Not only did I had to blend the culture, the Canadian culture into my life, but I had to also blend my my marriage culture, because my husband's family is from Iran, directly from Iran. So the culture was different, the language was different. I did not understand the Farsi language when I got married. So I don't speak it now, but I understand it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and, but that was different. But, there is a lot of difference in the Zoroastrian religion. But they're the same religion, but different cultures. Yeah. And that is always, I feel, I think language is more the barrier in this situation more than anything. Yeah. Everything else is the same. Yeah. So that, I think, once a language barrier comes off, because now with the newer, younger people. It's easier to blend that, whether it's in Darbemer that we see or in any of the other cities in Toronto or LA. And I think language is the most important thing. That goes out of the way, then it's much easier to get everybody around.
Yeah, but that's not so much for the youth, right?
Not so much for the youth.
The youth
exactly.
have no problems.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's the generation. Once that moves away, I feel that it'll be way easier to get both the cultures together.
Yeah, because what we've seen in the community is that there is this split in some cities,
see that.
right?
We see that a lot. My sister is in Pennsylvania, and she got same thing, but she got married in Toronto at the Darbemer over there.
Really amazing.
So there is a little bit of a split there. There's a lot of split in and I sometimes look back and I say why, because it's like me especially, because growing up with both cultures so easily, it's more, I feel more there is no stress about this back in India with the cultures blending.
Really?
I feel sometimes a little bit more in this part of the world, and I feel that it shouldn't be that case, because our most important things like our Avasta prayers, our our rights, as growing up, all the things that we are taught, all the different rojas and everything is pretty much the same. So it shouldn't be the way it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you said in India there's very little tension.
There is, I would say, no tension. I don't think we are even considered Parsis or Iranians, really. It's just when we go out, Parsi is an easier word for everybody to know. So everyone calls them Parsis. We don't say the word Zoroastrians or Iranians, really. We just say the word Parsi.
Because in India, there used to be this difference, right? There was the Irani, right? They called them Iranis, as if they were different from us. I never understood that.
Part of my life, I was called, my last name was Irani.
Oh, yeah.
For a long time. And then my mom changed it over to Jamshedian, found out where my grandfather's roots came from. And actually, because when he came to India, everyone called him Irani, and that's what everyone used to be calling him the whole time. And we were called that too for a very long. It used to be called Mehrnaz or Irani, but and then we were called. Now it's the proper name. Yeah.
Amazing. So your mom went back into your history, found out the place of your community, like your family roots.
Found out my grandfather's actual last name, and then we changed it over to Jamshedian.
Right, because there was this thing in India where anybody who just came was called an Irani.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So then you changed it, and in your lifetime there wasn't this split between the Iranis and the Parsis.
Not really. In growing up in a Parsi school, sometimes we would be called, like the Iranians was sided off a little bit than the Parsis, and the Parsis used to call the Iranians louder or crazier. Just, while growing up, but that was just, I think it was just all in fun and play. But so that's what, and we would name them and they would name us, but we were in a Zoroastrian school, so nowhere else to go, really.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's what it was there a little bit growing up, but it was just in fun and games, and people knew who Iranians were and who Parsis were. It's not that they did not know the difference, but it was always much easier, with everything else, like all the social things.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're actually half and half.
I am half and half.
But you got called an Irani.
I used to be called an Irani.
Because Dad...
not because of that, because I think I'm a bit loud.
That's hilarious. I think a lot of us are pretty loud in the culture, right?
It's I think the culture.
Boisterous. Yes, it's part of who we are, right?
It's part of who we are, exactly.
Okay, so then that split wasn't a big deal in India.
No.
And now here you see that in this part of the world it's a bigger deal.
I sometimes feel that because of what I hear. It's not that I'm actively in the community or anything like that. But, I was for a little while, and then there was always a little bit of a riff-raff. And now I think everything I don't know what it is right now, but I'm just from what I had heard or what I, when I was, and things might have. I think it's getting better, and I think it's in the right direction for sure now.
Yeah, we're moving towards unity, right?
We are.
Yeah, that's super important for us, isn't it? Yeah. So,
Mersha, can you shut the phone, please? If he's got his headphones on.
That's okay.
Sorry.
You can let the nice music go. So, I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about your own life and how the ZXX faith has developed who you are.
Well, the Zoroastrian faith is really, as I said, we were not, I'm not personally very religious. I know there are days that you don't have to eat meat or, those kind of things. That's absolutely not me. Mm-hmm. It never was me. Mm-hmm. I do still follow the part where I don't touch a picture when I'm in my period or a book so that's something that you learn as a kid. I do definitely do that. I do pray a little bit every night. I basically pray Meher Baba's prayers actually. I always say my Ashimvo Yathavaryo too, just Ashimvo and Yathavaryo, and then I do my Meher Baba prayers. So I do that. That's a small thing that I do every day. Beyond that, I would say, just try my best to live with the 3 principles that are given to us, which I feel are the most, and I try every day. We all do, right? So, I would say that so learning about those 3 principles, knowing that we have those principles that we should always, every person should try and follow, and just, I think I feel very blessed because I don't feel privileged, but I feel blessed to be born in such a, because if you go back to the history of Zoroastrians, we are very, very old, extremely ancient religion, way before the Christ. And I feel that we still have kept up our roots, and we still are trying, or every person who's been born in this faith has tried as much as they can to keep up with the roots of the culture and the religion. And I feel that if we continue to do that, and if I, there's those little words that I know of that I put into my son, and he moves on and says it to his kids, it just, we won't lose that. And that I feel is, that's the best I feel I've done for my religion, or I can do. Mm-hmm. But beyond that, I just, I don't know, I've not really been an advocate for it or anything throughout my life. I've never had the opportunity to, but yeah.
Nice.
Today I might have, but.
Exactly what you're doing right now, yeah. And if you could talk to ZXX really young people, what kind of things would you like to tell them about who we are?
I would tell them that we are, one, we are extremely ancient religion, and to have that faith, and just those 3 words, as I said, which is so important to me, just, from where we've come so far off, and we've still not lost it, to just try and continue in some way or form, or some way to just try their best to just continue with that. And I mean, I don't believe it. I still believe that they should be fine with mixed cultures getting married. I've never ever opposed something like that. I would never do that for my own son, because for me to fall in love and marry is more important than just marrying just because the faith is same. But I also believe that birds of the feather will flock together, and it's always easier if you fall in love with the same and then why not, But if it doesn't, it doesn't. But just to give that just to let them know. So each child should know where each of the parents' cultures have come from, and that they can continue in some way or form, however they can.
Yeah, beautiful. The ancient part of who we are is really compelling for most of us, isn't it?
It is. It is. How the how the whole thing went about, and how the artists from Iran was brought to Gujarat, and it's still burning in Udvada. So India trip is definitely two things we definitely have to visit for my son and for myself, and that is Udvada, to go there, and of course to go to Meher Baba's tomb. So those are two biggest itineraries that have to be in our agenda for sure.
And where's Meher Baba's tomb?
It is in Ahmednagar,
Oh,
in Mehrabad.
Is that, which state is that in?
I think it's a state of, well, Ahmednagar is closer to Pune, so I would say still in the
Maharashtra.
state. It's still in the state of Maharashtra. I
Okay.
won't say Gujarat or anything, but it is for, like, I would say 3 hours from Pune.
Okay,
Yeah.
Nice. So
Further
those are
north.
like your two. Those are two things that are really
Very
important
close to my
you.
heart, and very those are my those are the two things that who has made me who I am today.
Beautiful. So, Mehnaz, if you could give us anything from your time living on planet Earth, something that feels like a pearl of wisdom, what would that be?
I just think, we all are balls of energy, and everybody is a part of the one person, and I think each of us feed off each other, and we should always try our best to, if we are happy within ourselves, the world around us will be happier, and we just have to I don't know, it's just try to be happy every day, and feel blessed and feel grateful throughout our lives every single day, and then that just makes it a better world for yourself and for everybody around you.
Wow. The balls of energy that we all are, especially us who are ones who love fire. We're truly balls of energy, aren't we?
Yes. That's true.
Yes. Well, Mehnaz, is there anything else that you would like to say about yourself, your life, the culture, religion, anything else?
Well, just the three things that the most important, as I said, we should all try and live by is the think, good thoughts is start thinking. If you think right, you'll say the right thing, and if you say the right thing, you'll do the right thing. So it's something which go hand in hand, and it could mean a lot, and it could just be, just those other three principles that if we all, not just the Zoroastrian faith, but everybody, if they do try to stay by it, we'll be in a much, much better place.
It's profound, isn't it?
Yeah.
Our basic philosophy is so profound.
It is.
Yeah, and it's all we need, really.
It's all we need.
Right?
Yeah.
It's the message that we
Going
carry
forward
with us, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, thank you so much, Mehnaz.
Thank you for interviewing me.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah, your beautiful words have really warmed my heart.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, great.